So how does your RV travel down the road? Ours actually travels down the road very well. Nice and stable. So, I like a mess, but it's move day. And we just got to a private park, North Carolina. We get here and this happens. Our slide is not going out. So when you push the button, this side goes out a little bit more than this side, but it doesn't go out very far. There's nothing underneath it. Nothing has fallen. It's all still packed away. There's nothing outside hitting it. So I don't know what to do. Bob's doesn't know what to do. Oh, just ran into a wall. Bob doesn't know what to do. So we have a message out to the Riverstone Facebook group. Hopefully someone will respond. Or, you know us, we'll figure it out. We're Bob and Barb. We've lived by the rules all of our lives. But in 2020, we threw that rule book out the window. We sold our home and moved full-time into an RV with our cat Amelia. And from now on, we will be living life our way. Don't you want to come travel in our world?
I'm going to talk a little bit about our slide issue. We got a SwinTech slide on the back. It's our wardrobe slide. It's our smallest slide on the camper. The right side decided it didn't want to come in or out anymore. And the left side was working fine. Initially, I thought it was a motor. And I had never worked on a SwinTech slide, just like everything in RVing, you have to learn. I researched on YouTube because we never got anything back from our Facebook group right away. And I'm anxious, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. So I found out that it's got a controller. Well, controller is buried in the box in the back in one of our compartments, which I found, taking out some screws, and I found the controller. There's a process where you can reset that controller. It's got a reset button. You bump it 6 times, you hold the 7th time. These slide motors have mechanisms where they talk to each other. When the slide's going in and it's out, it goes out and rolls nice and smooth. This ignores that safety factor, so when you reset it, you got like 2 minutes. So we were able to operate the slide. The next time we go to a campground, the slide works fine. It goes in and out, in and out. Go to another campground, it goes in and out. All of a sudden it started acting up again. Started doing the exact same thing. So I look on the website trying to find a controller, thinking it's a controller. The controllers are like $280. So I go on eBay, I find one for $109, brand new. Get it shipped to us. The guy shipped it to us in 3 days, plugged it in, took care of our issue. So that was our issue, was the controller, but that's the problem we had with the SwinTech slide. Since then, we've had no problems, and our kitchen slides are SwinTech. We've had no problems with them either. But I did find out where the controllers are mounted up underneath the front compartment in case we do have an issue with them.
Yeah, we highly recommend you know where they are, because before the problem happens, it is a nightmare that we found in North Carolina trying to locate one.
Where they put them at. They kind of bury them. The front ones are actually in the front compartment mounted to the roof in there, so it was easy to get to. They're easy to find. The back one was kind of buried in the compartment, but once we found it, we were able to reset it, and it was easy to replace, so that took care of the problem.
I told you we'd figure it out.
They do tell you one thing. When you run the SwinTechs in and out, you're supposed to hold her for 5 to 7 seconds once you get it to all the way in or all the way out. That way those two motors can talk to each other and they know what's in and what's out. So that's what we've been doing ever since then. We are going to cover up a couple spots up here by the generator with some mesh to keep the little varmints out. You can see the factory's got some mesh, and over here where the exhaust comes down, there's some opening spots. So I'm going to take some 1/4-inch mesh and cover these holes up so we don't have visitors over the winter. Here's the finished product. Got those spots covered by the exhaust. And the only thing I'll have to do is I'll have to take off this mesh when I change the oil. The little varmints out is worth it. Talking a little bit about the mesh. When we first got the rig, we found that there were some spots underneath that needed mesh, especially on our garage model. That's got 2 vents that take care of the positive, negative pressure when you're closing the door. So we went ahead and covered those right away. And then I found a couple other spots. The front, I just went ahead and just keep any kind of rodents from trying to get up into that area, because once they get in, they can get into any kind of little spot they can find their way in. So we covered them up, and it's not a big hassle. All I do is take a couple screws out if I got to change the oil on the generator, and that's not been a problem at all. And the date, I'll I'll knock
Yep.
on some wood.
Almost 2 years on the road.
So we haven't had any rodents.
Nope.
I'm not saying it can never happen.
No,
'cause
but
they
Barb
could
would
come in.
die. Barb would
Yep.
die.
Barb would freak out because she doesn't like insects, bugs. She sprays the insect spray, probably keeps the bugs out, or keeps all the rodents out.
Organic and natural.
Yep, yep. So we've been fortunate that way, and I'm not saying that the mesh had a big play in it, but
No, it did.
it definitely helped. We did put our little glue sticks in any place inside the camper in case one of the little dudes get in, find his way out into the trash.
So now that we've already done the dragon, what are we going to do now, Bob?
We're going to do a new one, the Rattler. 24 miles of curves.
So let's do it. All right, on today's ride, I'm going to show you the highlights of this ride. We're going to do a little bit sped up and slow it down when it comes to the beautiful scenery and the incredible curves that you're going to see. And at the end of the ride, we're going to talk about it and actually compare it to the dragon. So enjoy the ride. So this is their general store. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna probably get a couple shirts, and then Bob and I are gonna talk about what we do to celebrate 33 years of marriage. We ride like crazy.
We ride the Rattler.
Or was a complete bust. It didn't have anything in it, and they did have some t-shirts, but they were kind of
small and cheesy looking.
Yeah, so we didn't get anything. We've been married 33 years yesterday, and in celebration of that, we've been riding around being crazy.
Yep.
So Bob, what are your thoughts, since you're the guy in the front doing all the handling? Let's talk about the Dragon first.
Well, the Dragon's a lot more intense. It's 11 miles where this is 24 miles, but the Dragon's got a lot more switchbacks and really tight turns that camber the wrong direction. The Rattler is 24 miles, but it's more of a cruiser's scene, which is perfect for this bike. It's not too crazy where you have to worry about the nanny system kicking in too much on this bike. Of course, a couple times it applied the brakes when we were in some pretty sharp bends, but for the most part, it was pretty much just like riding on the back roads of any country road, I think.
A little bit faster.
Yeah. Well, of course, Barb was back there shaking a little bit, I think, because I was going pretty good there for a while. Yeah, it was definitely worth the ride. I really enjoyed it. We drove up and back, so.
My perspective from being the passenger is that the nanny system does kick in. It kicked in maybe once or twice on the Dragon and once on the Rattler. When you're riding this kind of thing, in case you haven't with your partner and you're the person on the back, you have to make sure that you're flowing with them. So you've got to make sure you're looking ahead, you're paying attention. And I was filming and trying to hold on and trying to pay attention, so it can be done. Yeah. But you got to stay with them. You can't be looking off at something else or thinking about something or not paying attention, because you could potentially make yourself wreck.
Yeah, I mean, this bike being a three-wheeler, you don't lean like a two-wheeler, but you still shift your weight into the turn to allow the bike to do its thing. A couple times the software kicks in and applies the brake. If you're going to go up on two wheels, it will definitely keep you from two-wheeling for sure. Make
sure you stay on the road for the driver, so you know what's going on. There's no tree of shame here, but don't be on any tree of shame anywhere.
Yeah.
For me, it is a little bit more nerve-wracking because I just am so cautious and worried about dumb stuff like that, where Bob was just loving it the 100%.
Yep.
So I know Bob recommends it 100%. You want to know if I recommend 100%? Hell yeah, you get out there and you do it.
Ride the Rattler.
We hope that you like this video. Give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment. Get notified. So click that bell. And remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our world.
Bye.